All right, welcome back to Monkey Craft, everyone. Me and Birdie got a special video for you today. We're going to go over a fun project, how to make a light box like the one I have right here, right? And I feel this is a easy project to do. I'm going to walk you through it, how to design it and create it on the computer. Then we'll print it out and then we'll assemble it. And I would say this could be for a novice, beginner, or novice level printer. You can do something just like this. So let's get started. Let's go on the computer and I'll show you how to create it in MakeWorld. Okay, so the first step is to go to MakerWorld, which is makerworld.com. Okay, then you're going to come down to the MakerWorld lab right here. Going to click on that. Let's scroll down just a little bit and we're going to get the banner to rotate because the one we want, the Lightbox, is over here, right here. You click it until you get to the Lightbox. You click Let's Begin. Okay. And then up here, you're going to click Create My Lightbox. Now, what you're going to want to do is if you have a particular photo in mind, maybe it's a photo of your dog or it's your business image or whatever it is. So you scroll down, here's an image, here's some samples like this bar photo with a drink or on air or something for your recording, right? We're going to do something more like this light begins with coffee kind of a sign right here. We're going to demonstrate it using my company logo. So let's get my logo out and we'll drop it here in the box. Grab my logo image, drop it right in there. Okay. Now, if you have an image that has a background on it, you can click on Remove Background and it'll remove it for you. In my case, I used an image that didn't have a background. You know, it's checkered back here. There's no background. But either way will work. You can just remove the background. And I'm going to click Next. Now it's going to create a vectorized image. It's going to take just a minute here for this to process. We'll wait for it. Yep, that's what I'm looking for. So hit Next. Now we're into the color mapping. Now the image that I imported had multiple colors on it, up to 9 colors, right? 9 colors in total. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, I'm going to print it on my H2D with an AMS. So the AMS is going to get me 4 colors plus 1 color in the left nozzle. So I can do 5. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to drag this down. And what it's going to do is reduce colors until it gets to the number that works for your system, right? If you just have the AMS, you'd set that to 4, right? The difference being, if you watch, see he's got a little bit of red in his tongue. But if I take it down to a 4 color picture, come on, baby. See, you lose that extra color there. I'm going to leave it at 5 because I can do 5 right now. Okay. Then I'm going to hit Next. And then I'm going to confirm that's the color choices I want to do. If you want to, you can move these around and change it. But I'm going to go with the recommendation here. All right, now there's my sign. Now I'm going to go up here. My logo, not my sign, but my logo image has been input. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to change this to my H2D. Right there. That's for the sizing for the plate for the output. Next, if you want to resize it, you can. You can click on a corner and make it bigger. I'm going to use the default, which would be the the aspect ratios change. In the end, I'll want it bigger, but I'll show you how I change it in the slicer to get the maximum size that I can put on that bed plate. So for now, I'm going to leave this alone. I'm not going to drag any of these bars because that'll change your ratios and so forth. So my colors are all set. Now, what I want to do is come in here to the stroke. We want to add a stroke. You notice, see how there's a black layer around there now, right? Now, if I drag this out, the width of it, you can see there's my sign. That's what the sign's going to look like without the frame around it. So you can drag this out. I sort of like, I think I'm going to go with like 8. This is 9, 8.5. That's pretty good. Something like that. I like this space around there. That looks appropriate. Okay, at least in my opinion for what I'm doing. Okay, now this is the design. I'm on the design tab. We can go to preview now, and we can get a preview of what it's gonna look like. So there's my sign in the preview right there. There's some other settings that we can adjust here. I just want to show you what it looks like. So that's the rendering of it. We can switch over to plates, and there should be 2 plates. Yeah, you got a front plate. So this is the image. This would be downside. This would be the image with the structure around it, right, for the box. And then the back is just a thin plate. Now I'm going to change this because I like it to where the back is the thick part, because I'm going to be running lights in through the back and then attaching it to it. So it'd be easier if the cover just went on by itself and didn't really involve the wires for the lights and stuff like that. So I'm going to go down to structure, and that's the default. Now I'm going to hit reversed. Okay, so now the front of the sign is smaller and the back is larger. Now you can add a diffusion layer to it, or you can add a reflection layer. The diffusion layer would end up going onto here, and what it'll do is it'll reduce the transparency. I don't want that. I want the light to be able to go shine through. But I am going to add a reflection layer, as you can see there, so that the light that I'm going to put around the inside of the box will reflect off the back and out the front. Okay, that makes sense, right? Cool. Now we're going to go back to change the rendering. So looking at our preview, we can come up and we can turn on a light, which gives a rendering of what it'll look like when the light is shining through it from inside. Next, we're going to go back over to the design page. And you can turn the frame off. That's the frame itself if you want to look at it. But we don't need to change the colors. And we're going to add a hole. We're going to put a hole in here so that the wires can come in from the back that power the LED lights. So I want a rectangular hole. I'm going to click add hole. And now we can move it around, and I'm going to put it right about there. Okay. Now to show you what that looks like, if we go back to preview and we go back to our plates and we look at the backside plate, so we tilt it up, see, it put a hole in the back so we can run the wires through. Now let's go back to the design again, tab. We're going to add another hole. This is going to be a keyhole for hanging the sign. We're going to add that, and I'm thinking about putting it right about like that. All right, let's go in and see what that looks like. Go back to preview. Look at our plates. The back plate, yep, and you can see the keyhole is set. Perfect, huh? Okay. Now, within the design tab, there are some other tabs that you can use as far as like the dimensions go for setting the light box depth and the front thickness and stuff. I use these leave these at the default. It just seems to work better. Okay. The other thing we can do is create a base. So this sign, as I designed it, would hang from this keyhole here. But if you wanted to stand it up on the table, right, we go in here and we click with base. And now it's going to give me a little box here. That's a little thicker than I probably want. I would want it to start right on that edge probably. Come over to this edge. Maybe down just a tad more. Something like that. So now if I go back up to the preview tab, you can see it in the preview now. See it's squared on the bottom. And if we go to plates, now there's another plate. And there's the actual base. It'll print as a separate piece. Okay. Go back to design. I'm all set with all the things I'm going to do here. So now we're going to say export. Now we're going to export it as a for my H2D 2.0 nozzle. Going to confirm this. My design's ready for me to download. Now, while on this page, I'll note that if you don't have a light already, you can order it right from Maker World, the strip lighting with the USB plug on it. You can get another version so you can change the colors with a remote and so forth like that. All the things you might need to complete your design. I've already got a light, so I'm not going to do it. And then I just click hit download. And there's my box right there. Okay. So let's open this up in Bambu Labs Studio and see how it looks. There's my 3 plates. Here's my first plate, and I'm set for my H2D, my textured build plate. And there's my filament colors. It's showing 6, but I only need 5 because there's 2 whites here, so I would just take this one out. All right, now that's my 5 color that I need to load in my AMS and in my printer. Send this to my printer. We'll get it printing. We'll print the outer, and then the back shell here. And then if I want the base, I can print the base. I'm not going to print the base though. So you can go ahead and slice this. Should be a pretty quick print. Now about 3.5 hours to print this piece. Now you can see it being printed, right? If we scroll that way, because it's only a couple layers. All right, let's send it to the printer. We'll get it off the printer. We'll take a look at it when it comes out, and we'll put the lights in and get it powered up. Okay, now for the next step, we're going to take the 2 pieces as they came off of the printer, the back with the reflective surface, and then the white, the sign side, with the frame. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a light kit in here, right? So that we can illuminate it from the back side out. Now I'm going to use this light kit I got right here. I got it off of Amazon. I'll have to link to it down below. Just a basic light kit. It comes with a roll of the light that's self-adhesive, right? LED light strip. A short cable. And then an adapter if you want to take it from standard USB, I guess, to over to USB. Anyway, got your cables, and then a little controller to help you control it. I'll plug it on real quick, show you what it does. Well, there's the light, and it's going to do like this, right? When it's hooked up. And it's got the little controller. We can turn it off for now. All right. Let's get started. I'm putting the light inside the frame. So the first step will be to determine exactly how much of this light kit we're going to need, so at least to get started. So I'm going to sort of rough estimate it here. And I'm going to sort of cut it, leaving a little extra. Just going to fit it so that it will run all the way around on the inside. Probably end up trimming it again on the inside, but that's okay. I just wanted to get a ballpark going. And it's going to use pretty much all of it. I can go ahead and cut it right now. You just want to make sure you cut it on the little copper color where they solder it. That should do that. Now it needs to come in through the hole we made, rectangular hole that we made in the back. It's going to come in through here. Let's see, make sure I got this. Yeah, I got this right. Then we're going to peel it back and start applying it. I'm going to apply it about halfway down. No one told me that, I'm just sort of guessing, right? And you just keep peeling it back and laying it in here and sticking it to the contour. Pretty straightforward, right? Right, Bernie? Had to move Bernie over there. Get a little room on the workbench, but he's still watching. I'll show you what this looks like in just a minute, as soon as I get it affixed all the way around. I'm sure you can't see it from where you're at right now. And that came out perfect, like right down to the millimeter. lengthwise. How lucky is that? And I mean lucky. But I didn't measure it, I just eyeballed it. Make sure it's fully connected all the way around. Now you can see how that's glued to the inside of the frame all the way around, right? And we just probably need to undo this little tie here so that I don't want to put too much pressure on it on the inside and start it to pulling off or something inside there. Line that up, and that's done. I might put a little bit of two-sided tape, like right here, just so that I don't, like as a stress reliever, right? Doesn't say to do this, but I'm going to do it. And I'm just going to put this down on the tape. The stress reliever. Let's plug it in and take a look. Okay, so let's turn it on, see how it looks. Oh, is that sweet or what? Right? Nice. And you can, this is only at 25%. You can turn the brightness up to 50 or 100. If I do that, it's gonna blow out the camera right now. But that is awesome. And once again, I just want to remind everyone, anyone could do this. A novice 3D printer, beginner 3D printer, somebody who's been doing it for a while. You just got to use the Lightbox app that's inside Maker World, right? Very easy to use. And then the rest of it, you just saw me do it. Piece of cake, glue the stuff on. And look at how that comes out. So I hope you enjoyed this content. I know I had fun building it. And I know you would too. So please go in, like and subscribe below. And if you want to, go back and watch. I've got a lot of other tutorial videos in there. Would help out a beginning 3D printer, which I was just a few months ago. So go back and look. Maybe you'll learn something. And other than that, I'll catch you in the next Monkey Craft YouTube video. Take it easy, guys. That's it for today.